Alright guys, we're back in my garage for another video. If you're new to the channel, I use these videos to help keep you updated on the latest developments related to our cars, as well as discuss technical topics so that we have a better understanding of how our engines work. So if you're interested in videos like that, be sure to subscribe. There will be a lot more coming out in the future. So today we're going to be talking about a feature that was recently released. It kind of went under the radar. It came from MG Flasher and they didn't publicize it a whole lot, but I actually caught it on one of their Instagram stories and thought it would just be a cool thing to highlight for you guys. It's primarily for manual transmission owners, so maybe that's why they knew there wouldn't be like a whole lot of noise made since most people on our platform have automatic transmissions. But I still think it's really cool, and it can also be useful if we use it with opportunities that should be coming in the future. So I think it's just a cool thing to talk about. But basically, MG Flasher has introduced adjustable idle RPM into their tuning software. I feel like I've seen this on older platforms for a while, so it's kind of interesting that it took a little bit for it to actually come to the B58 and B58 platforms. But as usual, MG Flasher is one of the first to have a new feature come out. So it's exciting to see this come in, and especially for manual transmission guys, this can be a game changer. I know I've talked a lot about the clutch in my car basically being the OEM clutch from a 550i. I went that route because going with an upgraded clutch that runs with a single mass flywheel, even though it can hold more torque, it can also have a negative impact on NVH. So it'll chatter at idle and just have harsher engagement, and usually that introduces drivability issues. If you're in stop and go traffic, it can be kind of hard to modulate the clutch and get it going from a stop. So it's just not going to have the same driving manners as an OEM organic clutch with the dual mass flywheel. Now with these idle RPM features, you're able to raise the idle RPM, and that can help eliminate any noise that you get from running a lightweight clutch with a single mass flywheel. So that's a really nice feature to have. You know, if I were to upgrade to like a twin disc or something, that would be awesome that I can raise the idle RPM so I don't have to worry about it chattering at a stoplight, or when you have the air conditioning on, you know, you can hear all the rattles and noises that come from the engine. This isn't as big of a deal for automatic cars. You guys already have a single mass flywheel from the factory, and everything else that's built into your transmission tuning kind of compensates for the potential downsides of having a single mass flywheel. But pretty much every OEM that I can think of puts dual mass flywheels with manual transmission cars because more of those noises get transmitted into the drivetrain, and it's just the pros don't outweigh the cons. So this option just makes it much easier to live with. Now also they have other options for clutch in idle and kind of how the RPMs drop when you shift. Again, all of this helps just make an upgraded clutch easier to live with because a single mass flywheel causes the RPMs to drop more when you're shifting, which means you have to shift faster for smooth engagement. So again, this can kind of work hand in hand with the clutch delay to make all of the shifting experience much smoother. And then also when you clutch in, it can help keep your RPMs up, so when you're going from a stop, it's easier to get the car rolling. Same thing with a lighter clutch and a single mass flywheel. You have to give it more gas to get it going smoothly. So this just puts you in a better position to make that engagement work like stock. Now, another thing I want to comment on, just because I'm hopeful that this is going to come down the pipeline, we have seen some cam options begin to roll in. I haven't made a video about it because there aren't a lot of details about what they do or how they work, dimensions or anything, but we've seen a couple companies teasing that we're going to see some cams probably in the next 6 months or so. Now, cams tend to have a negative impact on idle and low speed driving, so again, having an adjustable idle RPM can help ensure that your car idles smoothly. Although I know a lot of the choppiness and cool noises that we like to hear with a cam comes from the car trying to hold a low idle. It just kind of depends on how aggressive the cam is, and at a certain point it makes more sense to raise the RPM a bit just to keep the car happy and running smoothly and not potentially like dying at a stoplight or something like that. So it's cool to think that this could go hand in hand with the future cam upgrades that should be coming down the pipeline. I don't expect those cams to be cheap. I don't expect them to make sense, but a lot of people like me just like the idea of cams, and that can definitely support it. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to drop this quickly for you guys that didn't catch this on their social media. As always, following them on Instagram and Facebook is the best way to keep up with the latest developments from MG Flasher. But this one, I actually just caught it on their Instagram stories, like I said. So you kind of had to be paying attention to know that this was introduced. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope this helps. And if you have any other questions or comments, leave them down below.